Showbiz Slot with Nathan Head.
Hello and welcome to the second series of the Showbiz Slot. In this episode I'm going to be talking about whatever happened to Baby Jane.
I've written a letter to Daddy. His address is heaven above. I've written, dear Daddy, we miss you and wish you were with us to love. Instead of a stamp, I put kisses. The postman says that's best to do. I've written a letter to Daddy saying I love you. I've written a letter to Daddy saying I love you.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is a 1962 American psychological thriller film produced and directed by Robert Aldrich, starring Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. The screenplay by Lucas Heller is based on the 1960 novel of the same name by Henry Farrell. In a decaying Hollywood mansion, Jane Hudson, a former child star, and her sister Blanche, a movie queen forced into retirement after a crippling accident, live in virtual isolation. Jane has grown bitter and angry with her failed career and the guilt of what she remembers about her sister's accident. Over the years she taunts Blanche and starves her, locking her in a room and mocking her.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
In 2003, the character of Baby Jane Hudson was ranked number 44 on the American Film Institute's list of 50 best villains of American cinema. The film was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, winning one for Best Costume Design of a Black and White Film.
I've written a letter to Daddy. His address is heaven above. I've written, dear Daddy, we miss you and wish you were with us to love. Instead of a stamp, I put kisses. The postman said that's best to do. I've written a letter to Daddy saying I love you. I've written a letter to Daddy. His address is heaven above. I've written, dear Daddy, we miss you and wish you were with us to love. Instead of a stamp, I put kisses. The postman said that's best to do. I've written a letter
The film featured 2 songs in total, one of which was cut. However, an instrumental version can be heard playing on the neighbour's radio in the garden during one scene. Bette Davis released this song along with the actress who played the younger version of the character, Debbie Burton.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane? She could dance, she could sing, make the biggest theater ring. Jane could do most anything. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? Whatever happened to Baby Jane? When she'd walk down the street, all the world was lying at her feet. There was no one half as sweet. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? I see her old movies on TV, and they are always a thrill to me. My daddy says I can be just like her. Oh, how I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish I were. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? To her smile, her golden hair. Why must everything be so unfair? Is there no one left to care? What really happened to Baby Jane?
Here's what happened to Baby Jane. She didn't grow up, she just grew old. She was waiting for that big day that her daddy said would come. That's what happened to Baby Jane. Here's what happened to Baby Jane. She thought the world was at her feet. That is what her daddy said was true. But her daddy didn't always know. Your daddy doesn't always know. So for the past 40 years, her life has been nothing but tears. Her daddy said something great was to be, and she hoped and hoped and hoped and she hoped.
And that's what happened to Baby Jane. To her smile, golden hair,
her golden hair.
Why must everything be so unfair? Now there's no one left to care. And that's what happened to Baby Jane. And that's what happened to Jane.
What really happened to Jane?
And that's what happened to Jane.
What really happened to Jane?
And that's what happened to Jane.
The film was mostly similar to the book, except the ending was changed from a house party with Jane mocking Blanche to her guests to the now iconic dancing on the beach as the police approach sequence. The film's success led to the birth of the psycho-biddy subgenre of horror thriller films featuring psychotic older women. Aldrich continued his own psycho-biddy trilogy with 2 follow-ups to Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte and Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice. Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte was originally intended to feature the same cast as the previous film, but Joan Crawford dropped out during filming and was replaced. However, scenes still featuring her can be seen near the start of the film.
Betty, is it true that you sing in this movie?
Well, I do a song that my lover, who died when I was very young, left to me of his love for me, and I sing it one night in the room alone, remembering him.
So, Betty, if you'll help yourself to our microphone,
Thank you.
our stage,
Thank
and our
you.
orchestra. This is
Hush, hush, sweet Charlotte, Charlotte, don't you cry. Hush, hush, sweet Charlotte, I love you till I die. Oh, hold me, darling, please hold me tight and brush that tear from your eye. You weep because you had a dream last night. You dreamed that I said goodbye. Hush, hush, sweet Charlotte, Charlotte, don't you cry. Hush, hush, sweet Charlotte, I love you till I die. I hold 2 roses within my hands. 2 roses I give to you. The red rose tells you of my passion, and the white rose, my love so true. And every night after I shall die, yes, every night when I'm gone, the wind will sing to you this lullaby. Sweet Charlotte was loved by John.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane? She could dance, she could sing, make the biggest theater ring. Jane could do most anything. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? Whatever happened to Baby Jane? When she'd walk down the street, all the world was lying at her feet. There was no one half as sweet. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? I see her old movies on TV, and they are always a thrill to me. My daddy says I can be just like her. How I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish I were. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? To her smile, her golden hair. Why must everything be so unfair? Is there no one left to care? That's what happened to Baby Jane. What really happened to Baby Jane? What really happened to Baby Jane?
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was remade in 1991 as a television film starring real-life sisters Vanessa and Lynn Redgrave. The film was brought into the early 90s with a then modern setting.
Blanche Hudson movie, I wouldn't. Do you have machines here?
Video machine?
Yeah.
No.
Well, where can I get one?
It beats me. Try the yellow pages.
You try the yellow pages. Make a list for the customer. Go on. Go on. Go on. All alike.
Excuse me, I was wondering, do you have any Baby Jane Hudson films here?
Blanche Hudson. I'm sorry. I wish we did.
You remember them?
Sure I do. Northern Outpost. There was a whole series of Outpost films. Trail Through the Pines. No, Trail Through the Trees. Now, what was that song she sang in Northern Outpost? I always identified her with that song. It was sort of a lullaby.
Tomorrow's not far away.
You're Baby Jane Hudson.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I'm Billy Korn with a K.
Hello, Billy. See, I was planning, one day soon I'm going to get my career going again, and I thought that if I could look at some of my old films.
I thought big movie stars had screening rooms right in their homes.
Oh, I do. Daddy built me an underground movie theater, but the prints are all scratchy, and since they put my sister's films on tape, I figured they'd put mine on too. soon as they didn't.
However, her comeback doesn't quite go as Jane planned.
Along the Way was made during the 60s. It starred Blanche and Jane Hudson, stars of different eras and sisters in real life. They had a song together in the film, and that song was There Should Be Love.
There should be love. Love should be there. Ooh, not being scared. Love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There should be you. You should be there. Ooh, with me to care through your fears. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Where have you gone? What have I done to make you run away from me? One night with you can make me see the one I want, the one I need. There would be love, there would be love, there would be love. There would be love.
Jane.
There would be
Jane.
love. There would be love. There should be
Keep going, Jane.
love. There should be love. There should be love. There should be love. There should be love. Someone is falling asleep tonight. And I'm enjoying you. Just turned out a light.
Get down from there. You're ridiculous. Get out.
Halfway through Jane's performance, Billy Corn comes on stage dressed up as her sister Blanche, in full drag. Jane then breaks down on stage when she realises she's a joke, and everyone in the audience assumes that she's a man in a wig as well. She bursts into tears and is then dragged off stage by the manager.
Get down from there. You're ridiculous. Get out.
The infamous budgie salad and rat on a plate scenes were replaced with simple earthworm sandwich scenes. The film didn't get the recognition it deserved, as so many of the viewers compared it to the Bette Davis and Crawford original.
Someone is falling asleep tonight. Sandman, I'm talking to you. This little girl has just turned out her light. Make sure her dreams are a colorful sight. Chase all the fears from her bedside tonight. Tomorrow is not far away. Sandman will help you to sleep tonight. But there's one thing I want you to know. My little girl, I love you so much. I'll always be there when you need me to touch. see you in morning's decay.
In 1998, a live stage musical adaptation was performed at the Theatre Royal in Brighton, with music by Lee Pockris, lyrics by Hal Hackaday, and starring Millicent Martin as Baby Jane Hudson, Jan Hartley as Blanche, Paula Wilcox as Mrs. Bates, and Christopher Biggins as the narrator. The show features 17 songs, and as of yet, no cast recording has been released, and there are no further plans for future performances or productions.
Oh, Blanche. You know we got rats in the cellar?
Then the story was remade yet again in 2009 to a much more humorous effect, with an all-drag Superstars version featuring Matthew Martin and J. Conrad Frank in the iconic roles of Jane and Blanche.
What's a girl to do? Guess who's coming for Din Din? Baby Jane. That's who. Jesus Christ.
The film had very low production quality and was more of a comedy spoof than a remake, and nowhere near as good as the French and Saunders spoof from the 90s. Whatever happened to Baby Dawn?
I was watching a compilation of my best bits in our shows. Gosh, I was funny.
No, you weren't. I was always the funniest.
Listen to the laughter. They loved me.
No, they didn't. Any laughter you hear after your jokes was dubbed on afterwards.
No.
Yes. I used to have to do it myself. I went in and I'd go... Did you remember this one? I'm simply amazing, unique and new. I'm everyone's waking dream. I'm dazzling, eccentric, research and song for I'm queen of the crop. I'm top of the pops. I'm vision love and hardly and basically I'm a star.
I'll always love the original film from 1962 though, and I think of it every time I lift a tea tray or fall down the stairs. See you next time.
His address is heaven above. I've written, dear Daddy, we miss you and wish you were with us to love. Instead of a stamp I put kisses. The postman said that's best to do. I've written a letter to Daddy saying I love you.